third game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third game in the series between AgeofKiller and Kaister. In this series, Kaister is playing only Portugal, only on the map Summer Saguenay, and his opponent, AgeofKiller, in this game has decided to play the Germans. AgeofKiller spawned in on the west of the map, Kaister spawning in on the east of the map. An interesting spawn when it comes to the trading post configuration. In the last two games, we've seen the trading posts run down the center of the map. Today, we see them run across the center of the map. So I'm expecting that we do see a first trading post getting taken by Kaister already. He's going to be looking to do this 10-10. His opponent, AgeofKiller, looking towards the bottom of the map. Going to be opening with a market. Very typically German opening. How do you feel about this matchup, Harrison?
This is interesting. So Breeze in both game number 1 and game number 2 has contested water. That's basically been his main crux of the strategy. He's been on the water, fighting, trying to deny the Portuguese access to the islands, all the fish, all the whales, and all the juicy eco which comes with it. The Germans are basically the worst water civ in the game, and one of the main reasons is, they don't have their schooners, so the economy is not really an option. They can't really go for eco water, but because their shipments are much slower compared to other civs due to the extra uhlans they get, which is land cavalry, if I wanted to send one frigate in the third age, if I send that card, great, I send that card, but my next shipment will be so much slower compared to my Portuguese counterpart that you can never really develop that momentum on the water to push the water. I've seen top players really, really play out of their skin just to compete with all respects, weaker opponents playing Portuguese on water maps. And this is where the phrase Civ Micro comes to mind. And if Breeze had chosen his Civ Germany, well, maybe Breeze is just saying, actually, this game, I want to see if I can take you on the land only, maybe try and go for some sort of trading post play. And I'll let you just do your own water shenanigans. I've got my own agenda. I've got my own plan here. Who knows? Full dops? Possibly. Probably not. But yeah, I think Breeze has got to do something funky here if he wants a chance to win this.
Yeah, I think you might be right. And once again, we do see that advanced artillery card coming out in the third age for Breeze. So not the first time he's included it in his deck, that's for sure. He's also got cards like the two caravels, the frigate, as well as we've got improved warships and the advanced dock. So advanced dock obviously going to be able to give him a fair bit of firepower when it comes to storing those canoes up. Undoubtedly, he want to get out onto the ocean, put down a dock or two, and then fill those docks up with the canoes. He's going to be in a great spot when he does that, but we actually see he's skipping a villager here. Not going up with the standard 17 villager or 17 population age up. Going to go up with the 16 population age up. So looks like he's going to be going idle for about 10 seconds before getting this into queue. Going up with the quartermaster now. We see that Kaister is well and truly on the way up as well with the quartermaster. Sending a villager out. Going to be dropping down that dock shortly. We'll take a look at his deck and see what he's got. Looking very standard. Nothing really needs changing.
Same deck as the other two games. Is admin all the way here for Kaister. He's calling the admins. We have seen and we approve of his deck decision.
Yeah.
No, sorry. No, pardon me. No, it's not the same deck. He's got multiple decks called admin, but this deck has advanced docks. So he's changed on the fly, or he's got different docks named the same. Different decks named the same, not docks. Pardon me. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, so he had advanced dock in the last game. In the first game, he didn't have it, but in the most recent one, he did, which obviously was a very crucial card because of the amount of fighting. The only real change that I would make to this deck, I think this deck is identical to my deck, just getting rid of the 8 Castadors and putting in that Team Coastal Defenses card. Such a strong card. Now reaching the second age, we'll take a look and see what he sends as the first card after being sent up. And now we've got a settler wagon coming out. Ooh, that is interesting.
I wanted to like kind of open that open-ended question: where will Kaiser put his town center? Because if you're playing versus the Germans, they may be more land-focused. They still can go water with the caravel shipment, but they may be more land-focused, which may necessitate the need to have your town centers closer together, providing cover and fire. The problem here is if that town centre is away from the starting town centre, the Portuguese defensive bonus of, hey, I've got 2 town centres in age 2 doesn't really apply here. Breeze can just make a Brax, maybe send 8 bows first just to try and annoy units, or open up with 3 doppels, and just as soon as the siege comes in, the pain comes on. Kaister, he sends in the Vil topside to get a dock. He's just following his routine patterns of, okay, this is my game plan. Maybe an early caravel here, maybe the option. He's sending 2 caravels here, so I'd like to see that double. Is that double outpost? Ooh,
That's a double outpost.
He's got a plan here.
Yep.
He's got a plan. I'm liking this.
Double outpost into 700 wood. That is dirty.
But that's the thing. Like, what does Breeze do versus that? I mean, one play is ignore it. They don't do much damage to versus the fishing boats. The fishing boats can gather across anywhere else in the sea, and then the 2 caravels from the Portuguese player can defend at different points in the sea, can move around. The outposts cannot. But this is also saying, right, I've got outposts covering my infantry to siege your town centre when the time comes. A bit of man-on-wolf action fighting here. Who will win? I think the villager will win. Villager not needing his greatcoats because he's German and he's hench. The wolf goes down quite quickly. The Portuguese Vels come out from the natural home city flag position and are rudely awakened there by the double outpost from Germany. Not expecting that, not a traditional play, but you can see he's getting line of sight on the German side of the coast, and I think Kaiser's actually thinking, okay, I'm not feeling too bad this situation.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I mean, we've got 2 outposts up right next to each other, but I think that Kaister's quite okay with this. Even if this outpost was a little bit further around here, I mean, the main issue that Kaister would have had was that he can't really repair his caravels, but because he's got this dock that's out in the middle of the ocean, he actually doesn't have a problem with repairing the caravels. Town militia now coming in from Kaister. So despite not seeing any indication of any aggression other than obviously a barracks, no other real... Oh, I say that, but he's actually got pikemen that are sieging down the town center right now. So I guess that is indeed the indication that there's going to be aggression. So I think town militia is probably the right call here. He would be expecting that, obviously playing up against the Germans, he knows that the Germans' options are quite limited with regard to what they can actually do. And so the fact that he has identified, well, okay, if he's going to rush me, I can nullify that completely by sending town militia, and I can still boom on water, and I'll still be okay. I will survive. He's recognized that that's actually one of his, one of his ways to die.
Yeah, if Kaister was actually really thinking about the situation critically, town militia may be a bit of an overreaction. It's not a bad move. I still think it's a sensible move, especially when it's better to play safe than play greedy and risky. But he can tell, second outpost, that's 250 wood. You've hit the play fast button. That's okay. But he's also dropped down double trading posts. And if you're going for a tower rush, you don't often go for trading posts on the side. So his batch of 3 pikemen and 1 pikeman could have been 10 pikemen instead. And that should give Breeze, Kaister, the information that this aggressive play, in quotation marks, isn't really that aggressive here from Germany, and Germany may be thinking about the long game a little bit more here.
Yeah, I suspect that Germany's probably going to try his best to commit to the early game. I think he's doing his best to sort of contain and control, but I think he would know that. I mean, do you think it would be possible to do like a fast fortress into just a giant boom? You know, the Germantown Farmers card? I always used to be a big fan of that because I always used to be a big team game player. I'd love to see just, like a fast fortress into Germantown Farmers. Probably be way too slow, though. Never mind me.
Maybe you could do something along the lines of 3 settler wagons, 2 settler wagons, 700 wood in transition. On the 400 wood, Cree CDB, and then maybe steel traps and place mines and save the wood for that. You've already got your trading post in transition. You just need to have maybe buy 1 batch of wood from the market for a house, maybe 2, but kind of go for like an eco semi. I know that the Portuguese water will happen, but your game plan will then be, right, Fortress Age, hit hard, hit fast, control the land, and once you have the land, you have natural resources down to the south, you have the space, and then you can kind of turn yourself into more of a defensive-oriented playstyle. But unfortunately, this trading post route and how it's lined up, I don't think trade monopoly is on the cards this game. If Breeze can't decisively win the lands to the point forcing resignation, or Kaiser's very happy to kind of go water and turtle, if that stage of the game happens, that's if Germany goes aggressive on the land and forces the Portuguese to the sea. I don't see how Breeze can win this by TM, and we'll have to think of an actual way to knock the Portuguese off the water.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. We now see that the town centre has been filled up with 9 villages, that being the key amount of villages required to one-shot a pikeman. We see it does 121 damage, pikeman with 120 health. So doing a great job there, recognizing that. And I think Breeze has recognized that he needs to take all of the trading posts. He needs to try and invest in his economy. As you alluded to earlier, Exiled Prince is now in queue for Breeze as well. So going to be going up to the 3rd age. Take a look at what options he's got. I'm curious to know exactly what he's going to be sending from the home city.
1k wood.
You reckon 1k wood?
He hasn't got 5 docks in his deck. I don't think 9 Uhlans here is a wise decision. A frigate here, it'll get you some momentum, but no tangible land momentum. It'll disrupt the opponent, but the opponent will just have fishing boats in the dock. You can't really engage a dock. 2 caravels will come around a half HP frigate and take that down. Breeze may be thinking, right, 2nd town centre down to the south, Cree CDB, Vet Ulan, a couple of houses. That's a really efficient way to spend the wood, and then I can invest that into lots of units. So he wants to have the infrastructure down to spam units and ready to go. Maybe an artillery foundry into 2 or 3 falconets. Freak comes out.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, as I said, like it has its point, and okay, at least he's going to back this up. This is important. But he's backing this up, so he's got a dock to heal, and he may want to train a frigate at the same time. So if we go back to Germany's point of view, I would want to see wood being chopped or some investment, clear investment of, okay, I want to go water here and utilize my H3 tech momentarily to get 2 frigates out. And if you have 2 frigates out, at that point, armor plating is a very tempting tech to invest. Basically, looks like Breeze is wanting to invest in the water here underneath his 2 outposts. It just feels like this is a civ micro win. I just don't see the outs here.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a tough matchup. That's definitely for sure. But I think that, you know, I've underestimated Germany before. I learned not to do that ever again. A couple of villages now going down. Skirmishers also moving in. Uhlan's coming in on the backside. Going to be able to clean up at least a
beautiful raid.
Couple of villages, as well as the town centre up to the top as well.
Oh, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. The frigate getting the town centre. I guess you can assume that's roughly where the town centre may be, but the Uhlans from the shipment just get on the villas. But the skirmishers going deep. They went past the town centre thinking, okay, if you're going to call big CM, fair play, congrats, you've cleaned up my 5 skirmishers. But Breeze is caused that to chaos. He's picked up villages. He's going to take up a town centre, force a defensive frigate shipments here. The pressure's on, and actually, we could even argue this is the land. This is that navy kind of disruption that Breeze wanted to do, so that when he does go land, or if he does follow up with a land attack, the entire base, the starting town centre, the coastal town centre, he can get that 4th trading post. He can build near the coast. He won't have to obey the town centre restriction building limits. All the villagers, more importantly, will be on the coast. Not many resources on the coast, not many trees on the islands, not many safe spots to gather, and that will be basically, okay, you got a full water economy, great, but you got no villagers gathering, I've got full land eco and natural resources. This is tough for you. You have to come from this water onto me at this point.
Yeah, I think that's 100% it. We now see some Hussars also coming out as well. Hussars looking like they're going to be able to connect with the skirmishers. Skirmishers actually doing a pretty good job of abusing the pathing of the trees that's come out. 2 outposts going to be able to fire down upon these Hussars and deal with them almost as pseudo anti-cavalry. 3 Hussars now just going to be heading out across the map. We've got the Uhlan that's chasing it, just going to be keeping tabs on them. Don't think that we're going to see any villagers really get picked up in that direction. We've got a couple of settler wagons down here to the south, as well as a settler down towards the south as well. Got more frigates that are just healing up, and a town center getting dropped down for AgeofKiller. So you're definitely right when you said that you know, you expect that they're going to be playing a little bit more economically focused, and that's exactly the case. Breeze going with another economic decision here. So sending the 1,000 wood from the home city after sending through that frigate, and now dropping down a town center, dropping down double town centers next to each other on the shoreline here, moving back in with skirmishers. He's got to be careful here. We could see another 5 Huss coming out of the stable. We do actually have that in queue right now. So 2 Huss, it'll very easily be another 3 with I'm assuming a house getting dropped down any second now. Actually, I say that, but we've just got some walls being dropped down here.
House top side, house top side. It's not an outpost.
That explains it all.
Oh,
I don't think we're going to see it in time, though.
What a beautiful place! What a beautiful place to build a house. A view on a couple of trees, the nearby quarry, the beach, the fishing industries, a couple of the moose as well. Very nice. Okay, cavalry coming in. Skirmishers trying to pick up the vills. Resurrects the German explorer, but it can't go any deeper. Big Minutemen are being called off, and this is what we was talking about of being trapped behind enemy lines. The frigate will come in to pick up the skirmishers, and the frigate has enough HP to survive town centre fire. Boats may come in to quickly pick off the frigate here from the Portuguese, but the skirmishers will get out alive, and 800 resources worth of Minutemen will be going down to 1 HP. It did trade quite well there. You know, there was about 8 skirmisher kills, but Breeze hasn't lost all. He reacted well, and instead of panicking, going, "Oh my god, what do I do?" Z move. He kept his head, called his frigate over, and he still has a skirmisher mass in the trees, picked up villagers as well. That's just really nice play there from Breeze, I think. Just overall well played.
Yeah, I agree. It was another bait of the colonial militia. So that's the second time we've actually seen him do that in the series.
Are you suggesting that the Breeze is a master in the art of baiting? Well, maybe not micro at this moment. He's just gone right in close onto Minutemen. That's not what you want to be. You do want to engage these from range.
I think he might be baiting with them, though. Maybe he's masturbating with them.
Is he trying to bait a secondary batch of colonial militia, the big batch of them from the starting town centre? Because that will be, that is some advanced strategies there. Maybe not master strats, but some advanced strategies. Maybe this boy's been practicing quite a lot in his spare time.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's yeah, some of the matchups seem a little bit funky, but he's obviously able to do quite well in them. We see that the docks are firing upon the frigates, the German frigates, but the caravels are doing their best to just sort of get out of there without taking too much damage. Doing a little bit of a shuffle as it heads towards the dock here. Only 15 attack on this one. Looks scary, not so much.
So the Portuguese civilization, 58 villagers, great. Only, unfortunately, 34 of them are idle at the moment. Most of them will be villagers in the starting town centre, few fishing boats. A couple of hussar batches, clean up the skirmishers. Skirmishers were being a bit over-eager there. Didn't have too much backup. What has Breeze got in queue? I'm hoping he... Oh, I see third age mortars. I see third age mortars. Drongo, this is not a drill. Red alert, third age mortars.
We do indeed have the third age mortars finally coming out now. So these are... They've got the stats of age 4, but they're available in the third age. Well done on picking those up. I don't know how I didn't see them. I guess I was focusing more on the units, the militiamen, and the mortars were out. So yeah, great to see these mortars out. These guys are going to be able to do a lot of work. I'm curious exactly how Breeze is going to be playing with this and how he's going to be ushering them around. I suspect probably going to be taking them over to the middle island, maybe with his frigate. His frigate's back up to 2.5k health at this point, so a decent amount of health on that frigate as well.
Yeah, he does need to take his mortars basically off the mainland, because this tactical switch into double town centre into the mortars as well. It's strategically nice versus the water play or trying to get control of the coast, but he has realistically not invested into his army. He's lost all his skirmishers to 5 colonial hussars. He did send 9 Uhlans just then, training a batch of war wagons, so he does have a certain mass on the field. But if that shipment of advanced artillery was, let's say, 9 Uhlans earlier than into cab combat, Organ's getting close to the mortars getting into the frigate, but that frigate may be under pressure from the frigate and 2 caravels coming in. Actually, mortars just going to stand and fire because that's what they do best, and actually that caravel is really going to have a bad time very, very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. So
isn't this exciting? Isn't this genuinely exciting?
Yeah.
Organs coming from the south side. You've got caravels, top and everything. Oh, it's a big fight. Go right, right
no,
your base.
We want to see the advanced artillery. We want to see the advanced artillery.
Oh, Castador is getting cleaned up here. The Hussar, big batch of Minutemen as well. So we're talking about the unfortunately this time Kaister was actually baiting Breeze, AgeofKiller Breeze brothers into the base. And Breeze having to back off and pull out very quickly, shall we say. Didn't overcommit there and didn't lose his entire mass. I was getting distracted by the mortars. Drongo, you got me all flustered now.
Well, Kaister's in a really difficult position, I would say, at this point. Just because he's lost that town center on the coast, he's going to continue to lose his foothold. The next, once this wall goes down, then it's going to be open season for all the villages up here to the north. He's going to be able to begin clearing and working his way backwards from this this part of the map and continue working his way across all of the islands until he eventually clears out the entire pond. So even though, we see that there's 23 fishing boats on the sea at the moment for Breeze, and he's invested, or for Kaister rather, and he's invested, significant amount of cards in there. We've got schooners in there, as well as rendering plant. That it's all going to go to waste, essentially, because Breeze is going to be able to clean that out. We actually have Breeze just going straight for the throat, though, at this point. So, really just, where is Kaister's army at this point? Breeze actually pulling ahead by about a 5k score at the moment. No big militiamen batch that can come here. He's got no population space either. Absolutely no units up here to the north. It's only these units that are in his base right now. And they're
He's also
Castadors.
sent in Dragoon combat with 0 Dragoons and 0 Hussars. Here comes the original batch of Minutemen from the town centre. 6 extra minutes being present here, but the mortars putting pressure on the town centre. Village will soon expose Castadors in the face of veteran Uhlans. Uhlans are going to have a great time on top of the light infantry of the Portuguese. Is Kaister trying to play the long game economically? Is he going to try and jump to the fourth? Because he needs stuff now, and he's investing into a double batch of Hussars, batch of Castadors, but he was floating about 2k resources, 2.5 for a long while. Town centre goes down. No town centre on the map here for Breeze. He lost his age 3 from the frigates. He lost his age 2 there from the mortars, and the mortars have moved up for the age 1 town centre. Villagers idle. Big batch of Hussars here. Nice to see, but unfortunately there's so many war wagons. War wagons are kiting, but I don't know why they're kiting. They just stand and fight and kill all that dwell underneath them. A couple of Uhlans here from Breeze should clean everything up. The record game playback is finished. Kaiser's tapped out.
Kaiser's thrown in the towel, yep.
Going to Breeze Brothers, and the worst civilization on water has won versus the OP Portuguese.